Again. Alright. Okay. Whoa. All right. Okay. So, one person that is here. I got really bored. I decided I would start making very basic NPC characters. Because I need NPC characters for my family D&D project. Oh, my brother's outside. That's funny. And yeah, that's kind of all it is. Yep. All right. Ooh, that was really. Okay. So the NPCs are basically just going to be the main important people who also you can persuade to fight and join your party. And depending on who you have, some people are more easily persuaded, some people are not. So, like, if you get the queen, who I think I might have as a rogue or some sort of fighter class, then you'll be able to get someone like the head knight who is loyal to her, but not the librarian who is very cute to himself, doesn't interact with anyone, especially royalty. Mostly because he has a hidden unauthorized bunker inside his library, but I digress. Yeah. That's it's kind of it. And yeah, we're just gonna see how long we can have this going without it getting taken down. Also, I have tea. It's really hot. Tastes good. Also, I have my computer on top of my desk because it's brand new and I don't want things spilling on it. So I have my tea here and my computer above the tea because that's how gravity works. It's pretty cool. Where did that buzz? Right. Trying to remember. I remember a few things about the general area because it's based off of a fictional place, based inside another fictional place, both of which I made. It's placed within the land of Aloris, which I'm gonna real quick see if I can find the Elrusian page that I made. Second page. Ba, ba, ba. It might be in my other thing. We're gonna figure it out though. Nope, definitely is not. We're gonna figure this out. Title document. Wouldn't be in any of these because there's a lot of writing on it. Not that one. There we go, Elrusian character. Elrusians are an oddly modern society in practices and culture, but they live in towns and cities that look and act as if they were in medieval times. The land of Elorus is prosperous and full of festivals and celebrations, with temples depicting their deity, Ero. Elrusians prefer to stay within the boundaries of Elorus, especially after the horrendous plague that killed all of the neighboring countries, but are very welcoming to all and any newcomers. Due to their technology that allows them to travel the multiverse, young Elrusians find themselves drawn to the adventure and excitement that comes with being a merchant or a nomad. I forgot how much I love these. Like, they're like, oh my gosh, I love these guys. They're part Phoenix. So, okay. I really love these guys. I might have the queen bee of Elrusian descent, but not 100% Elrus. I don't know, just Elrusian bloodline. But, it's basically an alchemist decided to do human experiments, as they do sometimes, and they gave a human child phoenix blood, and they gained the ability to have wings of fire. From there, the species evolved to have wings of fire burst from their back, along with a mask and tail resembling that of a phoenix. They look much like the average human with few exceptions. They are typically between 5 and 7 feet in height and weigh between 125 to 300 pounds on average. Elrusian skin shades range from dark tan to nearly black, and any hair color that can be naturally made, curly, kinky, or straight. They are unable to have hair anywhere else on their body. Many Elrusians have red, orange, or brown eyes, but few have blue, green, hazel, or gray. Elrusians on average live a little more than 2 centuries and reach adulthood somewhere in their 20s. The reason they can't have hair on anywhere other part of their body is because the hair on their head is specifically fire resistant. Like, it's grown to be fire resistant, but the rest of their body hair wasn't able to. And of course, there are Elrusians who do have the ability to grow body hair elsewhere, and that's very typically rare in this society. I know, I just like the idea of people being able to fly with wings of fire. I just really like that. So you have the queen is of an Elrusian lineage, but doesn't have enough phoenix blood in her body to actually have the wings of fire. She'd be fire resistant first and foremost, but she'd also be able to understand Elrusian without being able to speak it. Because Elrusian is only spoken when their wings are out, but they also can speak Celestial because it's taught to them, because it's the way they can communicate with their deity who just lives among them. So yeah, basically would have everything except flight. I love this. I think I will have the queen bee of Elorosian descent because I just think that's really cool to be like a part phoenix lady. You know, part phoenix lady is cool. That's not the thing. I can't spell. To be lawful good, I will have her be a rogue. I don't know exactly what level she would be. I would think maybe 15 or above, and I don't really know her name, but her background is definitely noble. He's good. Yeah, no, one moment. There's something very specific. Why is this still open? Very specific about Elorsian names. An Elorsian will name. Oh yeah, so Elorsians choose their own names. Usually, they are just called child. And yeah, usually they're just called child, and that's kind of it until they get their wings, which mortal leadership. I don't exactly remember when they get their wings. They get them fairly young before they fully mature, like way before they fully mature. So I'm thinking about 5 typical human years since their calendar is based weirdly. But like usually when they get their wings, they will then ask their parents, like they won't ask their parents, hey, is this a good name? But they'll kind of like ask, hey, what was happening around that time that you remember and what I remember. So there's some pretty weird. There's a really weird explanation that I had. So like, someone an Elorasian's name could be Cart, and they're like, oh, so how I got this was I was at my favorite restaurant eating potatoes, with one of the friends from a different multiverse who was a human and was speaking a strange language. And afterwards I got my wings. And the name for potato in their language is Kartoffeln, so I chose Cart. Or they'll be like, I remember this one very specific thing, and so now my name is Lamppost. Like it's kind of anything, but then usually they'll take a secondary name when they go traveling if they go traveling the multiverse. So like if let's just go with Cart, went to travel the multiverse and went alone, usually they'll end up just choosing a secondary name based off of their travels. If they go with a party, they'll choose something based off of the races in that party. So if they went in a party with a tiefling, two elves and a half and a orc, then they would usually choose something amongst a tiefling name, a virtue name, an elven name, or an orcish name. And that will be their secondary name, which they are known when they travel the multiverse. And that's just kind of their culture. They're very... It's a very fun culture, that, at least for me. Like, you can join a guild, and the guilds go through the multiverse and stuff. Well, no. They have 12 main guilds of the 12 main classes, and they're kind of smaller guilds for other lesser known classes. And a lot of people come to join because it's the best place to specialize in them. The only way to get to those specific guilds is either be in the world where those guilds are in, or to go to Aloris and then go. And travel is free unless you're going through a private area, or if you are going through a marketing area, in which case usually there is a fee because you're taking goods into someone else's to one or a few people. I don't know, it's kind of like that one area, but usually they're free, and it's just the mode of transport that's expensive, but the actual getting from one place to another is free. Yes. They don't... The land they're in doesn't really have any change at all. Like, it doesn't change, really. And it's really funny. I really think it's funny. And I'm the one who made it. I think it's funny in my own weird way. So they determine age based off of events. So when they get their wings, like they figured out days, kind of. Like, they understand the concept of days because they do have a day-night cycle, but they really don't care about that. So, like, every 600 days, first people who have gotten their first wings fly. And they get a lot of tattoos is the other thing. That's a huge part of their culture, is getting tattoos either just for fun or for, like, a meaning. First tattoo is after 5 migrations, which is flying every 600 days. Making their own home. After a long time, you lose enough fire feathers to only have wings and no longer have the mask or tail. Those are usually the older people. And a more recent event is celebrating when an Elorsian goes outside of their universe for the first time, because that's becoming a much more popular idea, especially since after their deity Arrow came in and helped them with a lot of technological processes. They, like, how do I explain Arrow? Arrow went in, and Arrow's a very strange character that I made before Aloris was made. But Arrow has the ability to manipulate reality, is kind of their whole thing. Like, they also mentally are very young because they got this power through a lot of very convoluted means, and became a deity. And of course, there are restrictions on that power of manipulating reality. Some they have put on themselves, some have been put on by higher powers than them. But like they came in and they saw Aloris, and it was when the plague was starting, and they were like, um, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you guys. And looked at the plague and helped make antibodies. And helped save Aloris and went to go save other countries, but they refused to have another deity, which I respected. Like, I'm not gonna go do that. And then kind of just was like, hey, I'm gonna live on this hill. Hope you don't mind. And other scenes were like, you're really powerful and you saved us. Could you like stay? And then they kind of worship them as a patron deity. And of course, there's, as with any major religion in an area, shush. They're just gonna be people who don't believe in it, and that's completely fine. Like, it's just a thing that happens. I don't know, yeah. A small group of Eldericians refuse to pray to Arrow and instead deal with the omnipotent deity as if they're a politician or business leader. These Eldericians are few and far between, but they try to keep Arrow's use of otherworldly powers in check. And it works. Because a lot of those are leaders of guilds. So they're also like, I can fight a god. And especially warlocks are like, I have a god. I will fight you. And then of course there's other minor deities. G and Wolf are there. But mostly Arrow just kind of is like, I'm just here. I'm just here. I do my own thing. And I just basically try to make sure that things stay somewhat sane. Yeah. I ended up talking more, but